What if you could get everything you ever wished for instantly? Sounds like a dream, right? But what if that dream turned into a dangerous trap? The movie I'm going to explain today, The Room 2019, has a simple yet deep message. When a person suddenly starts receiving everything they desire, it can become dangerous. Their greed grows and eventually they must pay a price for everything they gain. Stay tuned because this story is full of twists and intense surprises. Now let's move toward the explanation. The main characters of this movie are a young couple, Matt and Kate. They move to a big, beautiful house located in a small city. Matt is an artist while Kate works as a translator. But both of them had left their previous jobs because they wanted to start something new in this place. While exploring the house, Matt discovers a strange room. They also find the key to that room among their belongings. The moment they try to open it, all the lights in the house start blinking on their own, and then everything suddenly turns off. The next day they call an electrician and take him to the basement. When Matt walks into the basement, he is shocked to see that it is completely filled with wires. Every corner is covered. In the exact center of the basement, there is a circular device with glowing lights. Even though the rest of the house has no electricity at the moment, that device continues to shine. The electrician finds this entire setup extremely strange and says he can't help them. Before leaving, he mentions something even more suspicious. He is surprised they bought this house because it had been empty for a long time. He also reveals that the previous owners were harmed inside this house, and no one knows the exact reason behind it. Hearing this, Matt gets scared and worried that they are living in a place where something terrible happened. He does not tell Kate about this and instead starts searching online. He discovers that in 1975, a boy harmed the couple who used to live there, and the reason behind that incident was never found. The boy was later sent to a mental asylum. After learning all this, Matt sits inside the strange room with a lamp and wishes for another bottle of wine. Suddenly, the lamp flickers, the lights go out, and when they return, a bottle of wine, exactly like the one he had, appears in front of him. He becomes terrified, unable to understand what just happened. The next morning, Kate wakes up and notices the house lights blinking again. She goes to check on Matt and finds the room filled with all kinds of things: paintings, dresses, various expensive items. Matt then reveals the truth. This room can give them anything they wish for. Matt encourages Kate to make a wish. She asks for a good job, but Matt explains the room cannot create life situations, only physical objects. So Kate wishes for money. The lights blink again and suddenly, piles of cash appear in a corner of the room. At first, Kate is uncomfortable with all this, but Matt convinces her. Soon both of them become obsessed. They start wishing for fancy drinks, diamonds, expensive jewelry, luxury dresses, and much more. Their lifestyle becomes extravagant. They even build an entire wall out of money. They are happy and enjoying their new life. But the time eventually comes when this magical room starts causing problems. Kate becomes increasingly stressed. Matt tries to comfort her and talks about starting a family, but Kate refuses because she has already suffered 2 miscarriages before. They argue and Matt goes outside to get some fresh air. Kate stays home, sad and emotional. A strange idea crosses her mind, and she goes into the room to wish for a baby. Her wish comes true. When Matt returns home and sees a crying baby, he is shocked. He yells at Kate, telling her they were only supposed to wish for objects, not a human life. He warns her that they have no idea what the consequences could be. But now, emotionally broken, they cannot bring themselves to undo the wish. Matt continues researching the old article about the incident. He learns that the boy responsible was named John Doe and that he claimed the room influenced him. Matt decides to visit him in the asylum. When Matt reaches the asylum, John Doe immediately figures out that Matt is living in that same house. He warns Matt to leave the place as soon as possible. On his way back home, Matt stops to buy fuel. When he reaches into his pocket to pay, he finds not money but dirt. This reveals a shocking truth. Anything created by the room gets destroyed the moment it goes outside the house. Terrified, Matt rushes home and starts examining everything again, trying to understand the logic behind it. But all he finds are endless wires running through the basement and the entire house. Meanwhile, the baby keeps crying and Kate decides to take him outside to calm him down. Matt tells Kate not to take the baby outside, but he does not explain the real reason. Despite his warning, she steps out with the child. The moment she goes outside, the baby starts crying loudly, and its skin color begins to change. After a short while, the crying stops, but Kate starts screaming for Matt. He rushes in, bringing both of them back inside, and they witness something astonishing. The baby is no longer an infant but has grown into a boy about 7 or 8 years old. They soon realize that if any living being created by the room leaves the house, its age will accelerate rapidly. This means the child would quickly grow old and die. That is why it was necessary to keep him inside. When Kate understands this, she is shocked, but by then she has already accepted the child. After this, the relationship between husband and wife becomes strained. They even start living in separate rooms. Kate treats the child, Shane, as her entire world, while Matt spends time in his own room, focused on his art in black and white tones. Shane appears like any other child in terms of looks and behavior, but he is not allowed outside. Tensions rise between the couple regarding Shane. One day, because of their argument, Shane cannot sleep all night. He wanders around the house and eventually reaches the basement, near the wires and the circular device. Slowly, everything starts to reveal itself to him, and he discovers the secret of his existence and realizes he possesses extraordinary powers. The next day, Shane uses his imagination to transform the room into a vast garden, filled with trees and even a snowy area where he builds a snowman. Kate is happy, taking care of Shane as her child, but Matt is uneasy. He realizes the child's powers are immense and could be dangerous. Meanwhile, Matt receives a call from John Doe in the mental asylum. John explains why he harmed the couple in the past. He reveals that the original couple had wished for a child from the room, and that child was him, John Doe. Now grown, he was meant to leave the house and experience life like a normal person, but the room imposed strict restrictions. To go outside, he had to eliminate the one who brought him into the world. This is why John killed the woman who made the wish and her husband, which also led to his imprisonment. Kate overhears this conversation on another phone and, enraged, drives away from the house late at night. Shane stays behind, asking for his mother. Matt becomes frustrated and explains the reality to Shane. They had wished for him from the room, and if he leaves the house, he would rapidly age and die within 5 minutes. He drags Shane near the door but then realizes he is just a child. He apologizes to Shane and tells him a story, creating a father-son bond. Later, when Kate returns home at midnight, she is overjoyed to see both of them together. Then Matt wakes up to find himself and Kate alone in the room, while Shane watches them from outside. Shane begins to feel attraction and emotions toward his mother, understanding the reality of everything. The next day, when Shane leaves the house and returns, he has grown into a 17 to 18-year-old boy. Inside, he attempts to harm Matt. In the process, Kate is injured and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, Matt explains that during their fight, Shane had died, leaving them heartbroken that they had the child only for a short time. Kate expresses her desire to leave the house, but Matt reminds her that they have all they need to survive there and cannot afford to go anywhere. Kate notices that Matt's behavior is changing and becoming increasingly strange. Suddenly, he tries to force himself on her, and she realizes that this is not Matt, it is Shane, now a fully grown man. Shane knows about his powers and has taken Matt's form because his emotions for Kate are growing stronger. He transforms the room to resemble their home. Matt, regaining consciousness, searches the entire house but cannot find them. Even the room locks itself, and Shane transforms the wall into a large hall filled with wires. Matt navigates through and discovers an environment identical to their home. He realizes everything belongs to Shane. At the front gate, Matt sees 2 versions of himself and is confused. He calls out to Shane, who responds, helping him distinguish the real Matt from Shane. Kate takes Matt and tries to escape, but Shane, using his powers, changes the entire house setup, preventing them from finding a way out. Eventually, Matt and Kate manage to cross back into the real house. Shane follows, but Matt pulls him outside while Kate closes the door. Shane, due to prolonged exposure outside, ages rapidly and dies as an old man. After these events, Kate is deeply disturbed, and they decide to leave the house. This marks the end of the movie.